Welcome to the Law Firm Practice Management Advice Podcast.
The fundamentals of business.
Join Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm as he discusses helpful strategies, tools, and insights to grow and manage a legal practice.
Good ideas are simple.
From improving client relationships to managing your team and scaling your practice, this podcast offers practical advice for navigating the challenges of law firm management.
Shall we proceed?
Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Law Firm Practice Management Advice. We have an interesting topic today. The topic is the innocuous lunch invitation. And this episode today is based on an article on my blog, lawfirmpracticemanagementadvice.com, dated March 8th, 2024. And the title of that article is The Harmless Lunch Meeting. So as a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to my blog and read this article for more information on this topic. But let's go ahead and jump on in. If you're a law firm owner or manager, lunch meetings can be common. Lots of individuals are likely going to invite you to lunch over the course of time. And obviously lunch could be for social purposes. It could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a business meeting, it could be a contact that knows a friend of yours or something like that. They want to set you up with a lunch. And so these invitations are often going to come. And obviously going to lunch with others, if you own a law firm or you're a law firm manager, can be a great thing to do. I mean, you can spread your wings, you can meet other people. These kinds of meetings can oftentimes lead to referrals as well, particularly if these are individuals who practice in other areas of law, so they're attorneys, but they don't practice in the area of law you practice in. You know, there are other business people out there who have individuals who might be in need of your law firm services. So this can be a great thing. Lunch meetings can also be a good breakaway from a monotonous or stressful day. Obviously, if you're working all the time and at your desk, it can be good to get out, catch up with folks, socialize, mingle, spread your wings. I mean, again, a lot of good things can come from it. But the question is this, which is, should you accept every lunch meeting? Are there lunch meetings that you should say no to as a law firm business owner or manager? And the thing I would say to you all is, yeah, there's probably some that you should say no to. And certainly you can't go to lunch with people every day. If you go to lunch every day, you're not going to get a whole lot done. If you're doing that every day and these meetings are taking a couple hours, I mean, they're more than an hour, it can take a lot of your time. It can result in you not getting a lot of things done. So not every lunch meeting you ought to take as a law firm owner or manager. They're just oftentimes you should be doing other things. You should be working. You should be getting stuff done. But one of the things that can really come from a lot of these lunch meetings, which a lot of newer law firm owners and managers don't really think about, is that a lot of these meetings can turn into solicitations, okay? So if you have a law firm, particularly if you have a law firm that's doing pretty well, lots of people want to meet with you, you might go into the meeting thinking this is an innocuous meeting. You're just going to have some lunch, you're going to socialize, you're going to break up the day, and all of a sudden you start getting a sales pitch. Right? All of a sudden, it's somebody trying to sell your law firm something. They want you to use them for X, Y, and Z service. And all of a sudden, this meeting, which you think is going to be a breakaway, it's going to be relaxing, it's going to break up the day, all of a sudden turns into something high pressure. So these are the kinds of meetings law firm owners and managers need to think long and hard about, right? And so sometimes, look, you get the lunch invitation. I think one of the things you have to do is kind of set a little bit of a boundary with some folks and say, look, I'm glad to go to lunch and meet up, and it'll be a great time or whatnot. But you almost have to be upfront with some folks that you're not interested in utilizing their services. And look, one of the things law firm owners and managers, again, probably don't contemplate it enough is that almost everybody out there is going to want you to use them for you name what it is. If it's somebody who does marketing, there's going to be a chance they're going to hit you up with marketing services. If it's somebody who's a financial planner and then the finance industry, they might get with you about your personal finances, about your law firm's finances, about 401ks, about pensions, you name it. You go to lunch with an accountant, they might want you to use them for accounting services, and you can just go on and on down the list. So a lot of these meetings, they seem innocuous, they seem harmless, but at the end of the day, it can turn into a high-pressure sales pitch, and then, for lots of individuals, it could be hard to say no to these things. You're going to lunch, somebody all of a sudden, it's hard to say no. Lots of individuals at these meetings, too, will just say, hey, can I email you something? Can I get you to consider something? Can I get you a proposal? Can we do another lunch meeting where we go over this in more detail? And this can be very, very hard to say no to is a law firm manager or owner. So again, one of the most important things law firm owners and managers need to do is this, which is, look, go out, meet people, have lunches. But again, don't do it every day. Maybe at most it's something you do once a week. Maybe if you're really social, you do it more than that. But it's important to try to vet these things out in advance and be a little bit curious, particularly if it's not somebody you go to lunch with very often and now they want to meet you. Be a little bit curious about why that is. And if you're going to go into the lunch meeting, be prepared to say no. Be prepared to, gently say, nah, I'm not interested. In some instances, if it's somebody who's not going to take that well, and they might be very high pressure with you, it might be best just to decline the lunch and not do the lunch meeting if you know it's going to turn into some kind of sales pitch, and particularly if it's something that you have no interest in doing at all. All right, so again, lunch meetings could be a good thing. They're common. You can get referrals by doing this, and I think that's one of the biggest advantages to doing lunch meetings, which is if somebody's going to refer you business, you refer them business. That can be a great thing. Again, a great way to catch up with friends, but know that every lunch meeting is not innocuous, and if you have a law firm, oftentimes you're going to be pitched, you're going to be solicited, and it's going to come out of the blue, and you're not going to see it coming, in that a lot of these meetings then can be stressful. It can be a meeting that versus elevating your spirits, it maybe lowers it because all of a sudden you're like, goodness, I thought I was just going to lunch meeting. Now I'm being pitched on something. And so know this and be curious and be a little skeptical about lunch meetings. You don't have to say yes to all of them. Sometimes you can say no to them, particularly if your antenna's up and you know that this meeting is not just going to be something for fun. This is going to be something where you're presented with something, and if you have no interest to it, don't feel bad about saying no. And certainly if you're at the meeting and the pitch begins, don't feel bad about just saying no and then just saying, hey, I got to get back to work. I got other things at the office. I got to depart, because you don't want to spend a bunch of time at meetings like this where you have no interest in this person's services for whatever reason, right? Maybe you're using a marketing company, you like them. Maybe you've got accountants, you like them. Maybe you work with other professionals like insurance companies, you like them. You have no interest in changing. So if you're meeting somebody and they're a competitor of the people you're using, you just kind of have to know going into it that it's very likely you're going to get approached about using their services. All right, so that's the topic today. As a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to my blog, Law Firm Practice Management Advice. Read the article titled The Harmless Lunch Meeting, dated March 8th, 2024. Thanks for tuning in today. Stay tuned for our next episode coming up on Law Firm Practice Management Advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Law Firm Practice Management Advice Podcast with Kirk Stange. Kirk Stange is the president and founding partner of Stange Law Firm, a multi-state divorce and family law practice. For more insight on similar law firm management topics, visit his practice management advice blog at lawfirmpracticemanagementadvice.com.